much greatness in you, regardless of your circumstances, situations, failures, or disappointments.
You are chosen.
Every day you have to believe that change can only happen with change. We have to accept responsibilities for our actions and move forward. We're not asking you to be perfect. We're just asking you to give your very best and
To believe that no matter how difficult your road may be or has been, you can respond.
Respond to the incredible calling that's over your life. You are not a mistake. The response is personal, but the impact will inspire.
Inspire your family, friends, an entire generation. Inspiration is contagious. It's a glimpse of who you really are. And when you know who you really are inspired. When you are inspired, you inspire others to do more, to expect more, to be more. But the greatest of all is to serve.
That's right. The greatest of them all, to serve. It seemed as though in everything, I comes before we. The one thing that we all can do is serve. It costs nothing, but it's worth everything. When we give ourselves, it's more than kindness, it's growth. When we respond, when we inspire, and when we serve, ultimately, we evolve.
Evolve as a person. Evolve as a generation. Because when you evolve, we evolve. This is not just a movement. This is an evolution.
Therefore, respond,
Inspire,
serve,
evolve,
rise.
No one ever told me the road was gonna be easy. The best way out is always through. Life is a journey, it gets tough, but I'm determined. Rise.
Hands off to LT. LT inside the 10 to the 5. He has broken not only the single game NCAA record, but has broken the 400-yard barrier, and the whole team is gathered around LaDainian Tomlinson.
My name is LaDainian Tomlinson. I'm from Waco, Texas. My family originally is from Marlin, Texas. So I went back and forth as a kid, growing up in the central part of Texas. But I went to high school in Waco, at Waco University, where I lettered in football, basketball, and track. But I did go back and get my degree. So I got that in 2004, went back to TCU and got that degree. So now I'm working for NFL Network as a studio analyst. When I look back, I think the thing that motivated me most was trying to get to college. I mean, because I had never really had anyone in my family go to college. And it was kind of the thing out there that, you was supposed to go do. You were chosen as the one to be able to go do it. It was always talked about in my household. And so that was a big part of it, but also, just making my mom proud. I saw how hard she worked. And for most of my life, she was a single parent until my stepfather came along. And then learning how to become a man. Here I am, an 18-year-old young man, and you're trying to figure it out in college. And you gotta learn self-motivation a lot of times. And it gets hard. You got guys every year coming in to compete. It's really challenging. When it gets uncomfortable at a certain point, guys you want to quit. But at the end of the day, it's our actions that really we're defined by, right? And so, because when you're motivated just within, no one has to tell you to get up and go chase that dream. No one has to get up and tell you to go find a homeless man and take him to lunch, because you're motivated from the inner part of your soul to keep going, and knowing in your heart that there's something better for me. It's hard to inspire people sometimes when they're depressed and down and they feel like there's nowhere to go. But what I've always done is told them my story of my struggles, and just to be honest, everyone has a struggle. Everyone does. No one is perfect, but the spirit in us, it shouldn't allow us to quit ever. It just shouldn't. No matter the adversity that you go through at home or in the community, the challenges of growing up in a low-income family, mentally you can't be broken. If you don't take care of your community, no one else will. Didn't have a lot of money. We always help people in our community. My own mom would take in kids that didn't have a place to stay. I grew up seeing us, go taking food to our neighbor, just because they were struggling at that time. I wasn't the type of person to look in the past. I always looked ahead of me. I believe that's why I stayed so grounded, and I stayed looking forward to the next challenge. I come from humble beginnings, small country town, Marlin, Texas. One road brings you into the town, and that same road takes you out of the town. But I was always taught, by my mom that you're no better than anyone else. I don't care what you can do, how talented you are. You're not the only one that has ever had to make it through that struggle. Not having my father in the household and not seeing him for years upon a time, at one stretch when I was a kid, struggling with acceptance from my father, being depressed about it and wondering, do he love me? But you know what? That story has been told before. Never give up. Rise.
All I ever wanted to do was take care of my family and, have a wife and have kids and, just live out my dream, man. And I was on the top of the world, made the Pro Bowl in my second year and, got drafted second round and, I'm on this pedestal now. I got these different type of friends around me, these yes friends. And you want to? I'll do the barrel. I'll do those.
Yeah.
And I can put that down there.
Whatever you
Just
want.
living that fast life. Once you have a lot of money and you understand the cameras are always on you, and at that time I was just vulnerable to a lot of situations, man. I ended up getting involved with a female and she ended up having a child out of wedlock, and I was kind of depressed going through that because at that time I didn't want to have a child, but I was moving too fast. I was living life and and partying, but I was still focused on my work, which was football. I was trying to juggle all these things, not needing help, thinking that I wasn't gonna be overwhelmed by having to juggle my family asking for money, or me just being able to concentrate on football, or this woman over here trying to use a child against me, or it was just me juggling a lot of things. So I went to what I felt like was my fix, which I would call my temporary fix, was smoking marijuana, and the thing about it, I understood the consequences. At that time, going through all that, man, I was so overwhelmed and depressed, I didn't even care. I mean, and a lot of things transpired, man. I was still dealing with this female, trying to, having this baby on the side, and, my girlfriend at the time was sticking by my side, and I was still kind of angry. I was still kind of ashamed, I was still embarrassed, and I wasn't playing football. I just got suspended for a whole year. Prior to that, I got suspended 4 games. So I was just out of control, man. I didn't know who to turn to at that time. I had really lost a lot of faith in what I believed in early on in my life, and man, it just spiraled out of control, man. And the thing about a guy who got drafted second round, who got a guy that made the Pro Bowl, a guy that got an extension with the Cardinals out there, second year after a 4-year deal, got an extension for like, you know, $15-20 million. I felt good about that, but all those things were taken away from me just like that, and I didn't know how to handle that. And you know, after all that, man, I started thinking about, you know how I wanted to leave my legacy, and end up checking myself into a rehab facility, and learned some good things at the greenhouse facility where I was for about 24 days. Did 24 days inpatient, outpatient. I think I did about 12 days. Got me a certificate, and I think at that turning point, my perception changed about my life being at that rehab facility. That I'm in here for marijuana. These people are in here for shooting up needles and heroin and meth and alcohol. I had a roommate who was dying of liver. He was probably only 21, 22 at the time, and still couldn't stop drinking. And I just thought to myself, man, life ain't that bad, man. Like, my life really ain't that bad. I'm tripping. You want these things to go away, just like you want to go work out and get in shape, but you still eat bad food, or you still don't go to the gym. It's the same deal. You want to lose fat, but you're not gonna lose it because you can't stop eating. You can't stop eating. So it was the same deal with me, man. All the stuff bottled up, and it was just, it ate me up, and it got me on the wrong side of the road. And luckily with a lot of support and a lot of resources, man, and a lot of faith, I was able to bounce back from that. So to say, even when I wanted to give up and give in, as bad as I wanted to, I was able to overcome all these obstacles that I went through and accomplish everything that I wanted to accomplish. And I got to that point in my life that I'm glad I had the right type of people around me, that would tell me the honest God's truth. And I think it, of course that helped me. But just to say I've went through some things, I accomplished them, and for that, I'm a better man, I'm a better person, and an inspiration to a lot of people. And that's what I want. When I'm gone from this world, I want people to understand that, man. He's a great guy. I don't even want to do anything with football. I don't want nobody to say anything about football. Just the type of person he was, the type of dramatic things has happened in his life, but he's still able to be the strongest person through it all and still accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. That's my legacy, man. Inspire people and continue to rise and above anything you put your mind to.
Hands off to LT. LT inside the 10 to the 5. He has broken not only the single game NCAA record, but has broken the 400-yard barrier.
With the fifth pick in the 2001 draft, the San Diego Chargers select LaDainian Tomlinson. Running back from TCU.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock.
Yeah.
You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself
Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
And the world's gonna know your name.
yeah,
'Cause you burn with the burst flame.
yeah,
And the world's gonna know your name.
yeah.
And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
What President Obama said, we all have to try harder, show up, dive in, and stay at it.